Hello everyone, and welcome back to Daily Update on 1000 Days Challenge. This is day 722, so let's get things started. Alright, so first and foremost, balance has already been updated and moved to the upside. Like what I mentioned, I did close my Bitcoin Ethereum trade when it actually pulled back and closes below the 20 exponential moving average on the 4-hourly chart itself. So yep, and that's the update in terms of that. In terms of S&P 500 and Nasdaq on the US market in general, we did form a great doji-like candlestick on the formation itself. So generally, it does show signs of indecision and rejection itself from the current level itself. But bear in mind, one thing to take note of that I'm still not entirely bearish is over here itself. So over here, you look at the daily chart itself, we are right now actually consolidating within this range region itself, similar to what we have potentially formed over here. But of course, note that this will actually did drop towards the bottom itself. So what I do want actually is on the flip side is that this is the second time we're actually forming it. If we actually do for someone like that, then we could have much more likely to break towards the upside of things. Alternatively, we could also form someone like a small mini U, in which case it will be like a mini kind of a head and shoulder, inverted head and shoulder pattern itself, and then we could potentially be breaking towards the upside. But fundamentally, it's just a low, a higher low, and then we break towards that, and there's technically a shift of market structure in that sense. Alright, so that's therefore I'm not entirely bearish right now, simply because of just a single candlestick itself. Especially if you're looking at Nasdaq wise, we also do want it to break below this 12.5k region itself for me to turn potentially bearish in terms of short-term wise. Also bear in mind that we do have this 20 exponential moving average, which could very much potentially access support which it has over here and over here itself. So yep. So definitely I'm not looking to enter a short right now, just looking for a decent enough pullback for me to enter in terms of a long setup in this particular scenario if I'm going to day trade it. Alright, if you look into ASHR wise or China equities in general, we're still definitely leaning towards the downside of things. But like what I mentioned, we still do have this 0.61 Fibonacci retracement level as a second key support itself, followed by the last final support, which is the triple bottom kind of a potential support that could potentially arise at least $28 to $29 region for ASA short. Otherwise, I do still think that the mid to long term bottom in the next 1 to 2 years is still likely to have been formed over here, and we are very much unlikely to break below here. Not to say that it's impossible, but just that the chance is not very high in that sense. Alright, so similarly over for KY, I do see the same thing. We are seeing potential trend bounce right now. And similarly, like what I mentioned, we're ready from a triple bottom over here. I'm not saying that we cannot retest it again. I'm saying that if we do retest it again, we do have a chance of breaking it below no doubt. But bear in mind, still lean towards that this is the clear bottom in terms of a long-term wise for the next 1 to 2 years, unless there's a shift in terms of the greater shift in terms of how the China direction is in terms of the equity market itself. All right, and then finally for Bitcoin itself, I did definitely enter in a couple of short, but it was trading as well as I did. But if you look in terms of the daily chart itself, what you do see over here in terms of the 20 exponential moving average is that we are potentially acting as a support over here. So we do see that there could be potential support coming in as well. All right, so on the 4-hourly chart itself, what I do want to actually have a clear formation is over here. I did mention that we do break over this high, then I'll enter a long setup. Alternatively, what it does form now is a potential long setup that I'm looking at as well. So what I do want is a very clear bullish green hammer candlestick itself, in which case this is forming it. So if we do close on this itself, what you do see on the Bollinger Band something like this, we form them like this and somewhat like this. So what I do want is we form a green bullish candlestick itself. I'll be looking to enter a long right above the high over there, and then with the swing low right over here itself. In fact, for buffer sake, I will still be putting it over here itself, and then I'll be targeting roughly around here, which is the 24k region itself. So that's roughly an idea I have. You'll still be a 1:1.5 setup, but I want this candlestick to close with the green candlestick itself, and then thereafter the following candlestick itself has to break above this high in order for me to enter long. So that will be my criteria for Bitcoin long itself. Right, and that's more or less about it. I still do think that we have a much more higher potential to go towards the upside, but bearing in mind we could still see lower low in the meantime. Alright, otherwise that's more or less about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop out your comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.